Here's the Wurlitzer Model 1800 jukebox. And the main problem with this machine is in the turntable clamp. The turntable clamp, seen through the center of here, has little fingers that are supposed to pop out and grip the record when the clamp moves into the forward position. And it moves into the forward position by this mechanism being turned by this cam. Right now I shut down the power in the play position to try to see what might be going on in there. I lubricated the shaft there, but it looks like those little things still aren't popping out. What's ended up happening is that the record is just sort of sitting there. There's no positive engagement with the turntable. I put a new power cord on this so far, and I'm going to replace the lighting cords. The lighting cords are starting to get a little bit brittle. I already put in new ballast. Those had some brittle old wiring in them. There's 2 ballasts on the outside of the ballast pack and 2 on the inside. And there's a new power cord for the ballast system. But these cords, although they're still intact, they're not crumbling, they are almost 60 years old and they're starting to get brittle. So I'm going to replace all of the lamp wiring in this, but it'll work good enough. It'll work safely enough for test purposes, so I can see what's going on in here until I can replace all those old cords. On the amp, we've just put a new power cord on it. It had all the capacitors replaced in 1991, and there's some Mallory can type electrolytics with a date code of 91 on them. Let's see here. It's kind of hard to see it. 9109. So these ought to be okay. They ought to have at least 20 years of life left in them. And I put in some new caps to replace some paper caps that were inside of the selection mechanism. It looks like it's got the Cobra cartridge, and the Cobra cartridge is a little bit loose in the tone arm. I was able to get some sound out of it, but the record clamp mechanism just isn't working. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take off the upper mechanism. Take this whole part comes off with 4 screws here, and then also this thing here, which helps to stabilize it, this rod. And then we just detach the actuating cord here and detach the stylus brush cord as well. I'm just going to take this whole upper mechanism off because I can't really get a good look at these mechanisms here with it still in the jukebox. So that's what I'm going to do next. Just take off the upper mechanism, and that way I can take this shield off and look inside there and see what's going on. But hopefully this won't be too difficult of a repair job.